So if we give a quick overview of what we're doing and this web address, and I'll let you introduce it, but I'll click the buttons as you advise me.
All right. Well, I guess we were just looking at whether you could run a node at home continuously to participate in a bonding, a bonded network. What we're it's open now. We're running with a test net. We want to bond with that at some point. And we'll also be running our own collab shard, so to speak, which we may be able to bond with sooner than the other, but we'll see. So, if you want to learn about running and bonding and all that, you can run on your own machine. But if you can't leave it up all the time, you might want to consider a dedicated server, and that's what we're looking at right now. And this place, wholesale-internet.net, has some very good prices on dedicated servers. Okay, if we were to get a virtual server from DigitalOcean or Google or whoever, it's going to cost more than we can get actual physical servers, real hardware, which is probably surplus at wholesale internet. We get very specific machines that we can get for various machines. Now here we see like a minimum. Okay, we start at the cheapest one, $10 a month. Okay, 2 cores isn't going to do it. 4 cores could be enough, $15 a month. But 4 gigabytes of DDR is kind of not enough. Might work. Somebody could try it.
DDR is solid state. It's RAM, is it? Okay, thanks. Yeah. Carry on. Someone could try it.
Yeah, we could try it. It might, it's probably going to be slower. It might, my expectation is that it would run out of memory. We get out of memory errors.
I think I would rather, for me, copy what you've currently gone with, Jim. I think it's valid discourse, and I would say my absolute max will be $40 a month, but I will pay $30 quite happily. So somewhere between 30 and 40, and I'll let you decide what you think the best spec is for me. Possibly copying yours, possibly doing a different one. I'll take your advice in that 30 to 40 range. Is that all right?
Yep. I'm just looking at what's available here. We have
take your time. It's an important decision. Right?
16 gigabytes is good. 2 times 500 gigabytes. SATA is, I guess, a terabyte. That's plenty. $25 a month. This one is slightly faster. 2 terabytes.
Does the clock speed matter, as in the gigahertz?
Yeah, it matters, but there's other factors about the architecture, whether it's an AMD, whether it's a Xeon, whether it's an Intel. I am not sure how the different processors affect running our node. Okay. Some things it makes a little difference.
Your guess is better than mine. Do you want to choose a machine?
We might want to get someone who more of an expert. I mean, some things are, if you do a lot of floating point, some processors are better. I mean, we're just doing character manipulation, so I don't know if we can. We could actually we could run some tests maybe to see which one is better.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now we have another one. I guess 4 times 250 gigabytes. I mean, it's easier. 250 gigabytes probably is okay. The thing is that if you have 2 terabytes continuous, you don't have to worry about
Agreed.
segmenting it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long it'll take for it to really need that much storage. You may want to change processors by that point anyway. Who knows?
I'm wondering is this a good one? Maybe keeps it at the $30 mark. What are the downsides to this relative to spending a bit more?
I think 16 gigabytes with 4 cores is probably enough. There are times when it uses more than 4 cores, but most of the time it's only using 2. So that's what we're looking at here. If we look at this right now, what are we doing?
This looks like the highest spec to me, but it is Intel, so I don't know if that's. I mean, this one's got a turbo processor, or says it has. What does that mean? But other than that, these all look the same price to me. Yeah. And this looks the best.
8 cores is going to be better, better than 4 cores because.
Yeah. Are there any hidden costs to this, Jim, or is that price it? It'll be $30 a month.
That's the price. I don't know if there's sales tax, but
that's all right. Yeah. How much is sales tax in the US?
Well, it varies. Maybe 6%, 5%.
No big deal. I'm tempted to click that button. What do you think?
Okay, let me look at this dual Xenon 4 cores. Well, wait, which one are you looking at? You're looking at 8 cores. I'm trying to.
I was looking at the bottom of the $30 ones.
Right.
On the grounds that, to me, it looks the best spec, but I might be wrong.
And that's with the 2 terabytes.
Continuous.
Status.
SATA. I used to know what that was. What's the SATA? It's your discs, right?
That's a disk interface, which used to be one of the fastest. It's still pretty fast.
Cool.
Okay, it's if it doesn't say SATA, it could be slow. So this does look pretty good. 8 cores, 8 threads, 2 terabytes, and I really don't see any.
I'm just getting my credit card.
Yeah, you probably don't want to share while you're entering the credit card information.
Exactly. I think we go to the credit card screen, and then I'll stop my share, and you can carry on recording, and then I'll reshare when I'm done. Sound fair?
Yeah.
So order now. Are there options on this?
Right. And that's going to be, I would suggest that I don't think you're going to need more.
That suits me at those prices. And then CentOS, I want Ubuntu, don't I?
I would suggest this is I would suggest the. Let's see, what do they have? They have Ubuntu 18.04.
Bionic.
Yes, that it tends to be more user friendly. That's all.
suits me. My Linux skills are at best not very great.
And it's based on the Debian, which I guess a lot of people think is the best. But
Morning, Gary.
CentOS is based on the Red Hat.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it, but Ubuntu is a little bit easier. And if you're going to learn one, it's probably best to learn Ubuntu since it gives you the most help in using it.
That sounds great, Jim. Thank you. And which did you say people often prefer, Debian? More expert users.
Ubuntu is Debian. You know,
Is it?
It's a slightly more friendly version of Debian.
Right, done. Is that sufficient for our node as well? I vaguely remember 18.04 being.
Right. That's the latest. That's good.
Right.
You know, you don't want to run a version that's going to get outdated soon, and you're going to have to upgrade. That would be a pain.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Jim. So Gary, just for your info, Jim's helping me set up my first R node, which is quite exciting for me. I've decided to fork out $30 a month plus sales tax. This is a spec we've chosen, and I'm going to go to next step when I come to payment details.
This is the third community node, right, that we have. Or
exciting,
right?
Yeah. By the way, Gary, I saw yours and Jim's and Steve's chat, and I think NutZipper had joined after 20 minutes of Divvy Dow chat in the governance collab. I think it was there. Excellent video, and it really shows the value of the work all three of you guys are doing. I just wanted to say thank you, and given we're videoing this, give it a shout out in case anyone else wants to take a look. I know those discussions can go on and feel a bit boring at times, but I think it's the core of community building, and to be honest, it's why I'm here today. So thank you.
Was that the members Zoom Hangout you're talking about, or was that the R node?
It was I think it was posted on the governance channel by yourself.
The technical governance meeting.
That's right, the technical governance meeting, where the discussion was very much focused around what we're doing now and the possibility of Dan Connolly maybe choosing or not choosing to get involved. But I thought I'd love him to do so based on the content of that chat, but obviously that's his decision. But I just thought the whole tone of the discussion was really brilliant and exactly what our chain needed. So I wanted to shout that out and thank you two and Steve.
Well, thanks for the feedback, Rich. But seriously, there's some people around here that do a lot more work than I do, and Jim is one of them. So,
understood, and of course that does include the whole dev team and Greg and everything else. So yeah, big shout out to those that are doing many more hours than yourself and certainly than me, despite the activity. So. Yeah, I think as a community, we're really standing up to the challenge in these difficult times. So with that, shall I click next step and look to enter my credit card details?
Yeah, let's see where we go from here. That's all we want to change.
Right. So I'm going to stop sharing, so feel free to fill the time and I'll fill all this in, yeah? And then I'll reshare when I'm done.
All right. So, what I've been trying to do this morning is get my VirtualBox ready, and I'll just
what is a VirtualBox, Jim?
The Oracle VirtualBox is an application on Windows, Oracle VM VirtualBox, which allows you to run other machines on your machine. Now, mine got messed up because my machine died and I had to replace the hard disk. So they got a backup, and the backup is different from the So the files are not necessarily where they're supposed to be, so I guess is what I'm saying, I'm finding here. I may have to uninstall everything and just reinstall it from scratch. But if I, if I try to start my VirtualBox here for Ubuntu 18.04, okay, this VirtualBox would allow me to run applications like Arnode on my Windows machine under Ubuntu 18.04.
Mm-hmm.
So it's trying to start now, and it'll probably fail, failed to send log. I don't know what that error is. Definitely have some problems here with this. I think it's still trying to start. We'll look at the configuration here. Okay, this says it's running. And I can see that I'm just starting this. Whoa, look at this. Okay, so I'm starting from scratch. I basically deleted the old one.
Okay. I think I'm ready, Jim. Shall I reshare, or do you want to look at this now? I'm happy either way.
Well, I'm going to click install. So that's going to take a while. So,
sure.
So I'll turn it back. After I click install, I'll turn it back to you.
Right.
Jim, did you lose your hard drive within the last day or so?
No, it was actually a couple months ago.
Oh, okay. You're just doing something.
One application at a time. I'm getting things back to the way they are supposed to be.
Okay.
Trying to.
Thanks. Yeah, I remember you saying that you had problems with it before. And it's interesting how that we're all becoming so interdependent. Someone else says they're having hardware problem, and immediately my ears perk up and go, "Oh my gosh, we gotta worry about you."
Cool.
Yeah, I'm
taken. Ah, 2 business days to provision. I guess we'll come back to it, guys.
Oh, I don't remember that when Dan went through it. I guess he had already. Ordered it.
I think that's to cover their butts, because I went to my email and I had it immediately.
That sounds cool.
I don't know if you want to show us your email.
I'm not too bothered, but probably safer not to, thank you. I presume you can see one screen, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you've probably already seen it. Oh, here we go. Invoice paid, your account information. So I got 2 emails. I haven't looked at the invoice, but I'm just looking at my account info, which includes let me bring up another window, a URL, a login email, and a decent password for little short. So let me bring up another browser and move that across.
Okay, so what the question now becomes, what do you use for SSH? Okay, in other words, you're going to want to open a terminal window on this box.
Ah.
So
now,
what do you use for a terminal window is the question.
Well, ordinarily I'd use a DOS command prompt, but I have a feeling I might already have a bash thing installed. Certainly git bash. So I've got git bash, and is that bash as well? What's that? So I've got.
I think you want git bash, but.
So what's this? I vaguely remember installing I can't remember what it is,
I
but
don't know what that bash is.
sorry, you don't. Okay, so shall we go for Git Bash, like Gary said?
Yeah, Git bash is okay.
I think I'm going to have
In order to participate in
So.
almost anything, you need Git installed.
Right.
So when you install Git, you get Git bash. So
Got
everyone should have Git bash.
Yeah, I'm hoping I've got Git as a result of having Git Bash, but I don't remember. This machine has been running for a while.
You could use the command prompt, see if that works. But
I think I would rather try and learn Linux and be in line with everyone else, if that's all right.
yeah,
If we're struggling, we can always go back to that, right?
yeah, I don't think you would have to do that.
Cool.
We don't even know if it would work. Actually, we assume that I could try it myself here.
Yeah.
But we need to run SSH, and what I normally do is I have a client app called Putty, which I install, and that's what I use most.
Oh yeah, I remember Putty from ages ago, IBM days. I don't think I've got it now. Nice little app for SSH, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice client app. Yeah. No, I obviously haven't got it. No. Shall I get it now while we're here?
I don't think it's necessary. I think for the purposes of this video, we probably want to just
Push on.
do something that somebody's familiar with. We don't want to make them install too much.
That sounds good. I will install it later. So back to here. So I'm logged in. My invoice has gone through. How do I bring up my machine if it has been provisioned?
Okay. Well, your machine. Okay, if you have an IP address for the machine.
Well, where's this? Sorry.
You should have it in your email. An IP. Oh, I'm sorry. You've got the information there.
Looking at my invoice email.
Looking at the invoice.
No, it's on my invoice email. Rather unsurprisingly, it's not there. On my account.
Click on the invoice. Click on the invoice number.
Okay, yeah, makes sense. Cool.
That's not it. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, maybe I haven't got it yet. In which case, is it worth switching tax with the time we've got and you showing me what you've got running, or is it better to call time and schedule another session?
So you have no emails giving you a password.
I don't know. I have my account information one, which includes this URL, my login email address, which is my email, and a password, and that's it. The other one, the only other email I have is my invoice that's paid, and rather unsurprisingly, it's not got an IP address. No, I've no email confirming the IP address yet.
All right.
Bit disappointing, but not unreasonable.
Okay.
Oh, I've got some junk email. No, I'm afraid that is just junk.
What in the world? Wholesale. Looks like I got a OS reload and schedule. Huh. Or your, oh, yeah, I got the message here. Your account information is the uh, uh, is the key. The title of the email is your account information. So,
Right. Yeah. Now I've got that. If I just go back to my email.
so it has a URL.
Mhm. Mhm. So I've got a URL, your account information. I've got a URL, a login, and a password, but no IP address. Don't think I've missed it. I've read it 4 times. No.
Okay, so it wants me to pay. Now, if I click on services,
Do you want to take the screen share, Jim? Is it more relevant to you than me?
no, if you click on services, let me see what you've got.
Got you. So I'll just get this running as soon as I'm here. Oh, sorry. Right, click on services.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, and then
Pending. Oh, IP address. Oh, what have I just done? Sorry. This is good news.
So I guess it finished in a few minutes that we were here, right?
Right, that's pretty amazing, really. Well, not in today's world, but still cool.
And then you have a button that says Get Server Credentials.
Button.
Which will give you a password and an account that you can use to log into the machine.
That sounds great, but I'm confused. I have a button called.
Click on the
ID?
the ID number. Yeah. Okay. You see the blue button there? Get server credentials. Okay. You know the IP address, right?
I've got that in memory.
Okay. So you're gonna get the username. Oh, not available yet. Username and password not available yet.
It still said pending on that other screen.
Okay.
It did. Yeah, good point. So what did I do? I clicked on that in invoice. Oh, no, I didn't. I went to services. I clicked on the ID.
Okay. So while we're
And as Gary said, it said pending, so you're saying it.
yeah, let me steal the screen and let's just show this
Thanks.
this install erase disk and install Ubuntu. Well, it's a brand new disk I created. So the one screen I didn't show you was where I selected the English language, which was the default.
Sure.
Now I'm going to say install now. If you continue, change the list below will be written in disk. Otherwise, you will make further changes manually. The partition table of the following devices are changed. Blah, blah. Following partitions are going to be formatted. Just one partition as the ext4. Don't worry about this. As long as you've allocated new storage for this, there's no problem. Then you select your time zone. It thinks I'm in Eastern time, and I am.
Cool.
And then pick a username, choose a password. Whoops. Kind of an error. Copying. I mean, I don't know why this could happen. That's interesting. I'm wondering if there's something wrong with my ISO image file.
Yeah. Did you download an Ubuntu 18.04 ISO?
Yeah. Package. What's this ubiquity? I don't know. I'm going to just cancel this whole thing.
Sure.
Well, could there be something wrong with? Okay, so what's this? 1910.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Forever moving, eh?
Yeah, it looks like 18 is over. What's this? I guess we should try 19. I didn't know 19 was available.
Sure. Ubuntu.com download desktop. Let me go there.
1910. Download will start automatically. And this says there's 24 minutes left.
Sure.
So that's going to take a while.
I'm on 18 minutes doing the same thing. I'm just trying to copy as best I can, Jim, while you go ahead. While we're waiting, could I maybe grab the screen and you help me out with installing Oracle VirtualBox?
Sure.
So I think it's all good stuff to be videoing for people, yeah?
Yeah.
Share one. So am I in the right place first? Oracle VirtualBox.
Yeah.
And I really wasn't sure what to select, so I shall defer to your advice.
Well, you're going to select Windows host, right?
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, client. Yeah.
And then
I don't know.
what happened? Your downloads.
They're just taking time. VirtualBox should be done in 30 seconds. My Ubuntu is the same one as yours, and it's 13 minutes, 12 minutes on current speed.
Right.
15, 14, looking good. Yeah. Excellent. So that should be good to go. These things seem to hang around. I don't know what's wrong with my OS. Run as administrator. The VirtualBox install.
I don't think you have to. I think it's going to ask you for permission.
Sure. I got that on my, yeah.
Just
I found this link by the way, which looks quite solid. I mean, only from a glance. Obviously, I've not read it, but it looks like exactly what we want to do, right? If anyone wants to reference it, it's here, and I'll just add that to my R nodes list. Right, what was I doing? Install. Next. I presume I go with the defaults, Jim.
Yep.
And why are you installing VirtualBox?
So that he can run Ubuntu on his Windows machine.
And we are not recommending WLS?
No, Windows System for Linux does not support R node. There's a conflict with the there's a conflict in the LMDB library.
So Rich is going to run his own node as well as what he's running on his.
I think it gives me options to play around.
Right. Okay.
Is how I'm viewing it. In terms of serious work, I'd probably, though, feel free to comment after I say this. My thinking, based on your chat the other day that yourself, Jim, and Steve were having, is I will follow your lead. I will use the wholesale server, which should be up all the time, that I've just paid $30 a month for. I'll probably, first of all, run a R node on testnet and get used to it, then maybe upgrade it to Bond and become a validator on testnet and play around. And when I feel a bit more comfortable, I might move across and run it as do the same thing on the actual network, or even bring up another machine and do that. So I've got the two, and then as I get more comfortable, I might move to actually stake a little bit of real rev. I'll certainly be treading very cautiously in that direction. I want to learn a lot more than I know now, not just blag my way through, get it running and then risk it. I think that would be dumb. So that's my thinking, but any comments on that as to whether that's a sensible game plan or whether you think otherwise would be appreciated?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to bring down, you could run multiple R nodes on your machine. In fact, we are running multiple R nodes on the machine I got. Of course, it's not really, it's sized really to run one, but it could run several, okay? Because most of the time, you're not using all the resources of the machine. But when there's a new release or there's something you want to try to be able to run it on your own machine, makes sense. It's not going to interfere with what you have running on the cloud.
Of course, that does make sense. Yeah, so it's like so it's kind of like I could consider my machine my sandbox.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, and I was seeing, to me, adding the VirtualBox is I don't see it as being necessary unless you want to run a node on your local machine, which I know I would have my hands full just with what you've already described.
I agree. Yeah.
You know, there's lots of reasons to have a new Ubuntu system at your fingertips.
All right. I just find WLS works well enough for everything that I need to do. But you're right, it won't run an R node.
It won't run an R node. That's a big.
Yeah, I would say two things because I can see both arguments. So I'm aware Windows Linux subsystem is that WLS. Have I got the words right?
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, one of my mates installed it for me. I think that might be where my bash prompt came from. So I think I might have that, but I actually, as a SQL Server Microsoft guy, I did do 4 years, 2 of which were on Linux at IBM, 2001 to 3. So I'm not completely unfamiliar. And I think in a way I prefer the VirtualBox idea because I've got Ubuntu desktop and Ubuntu server, but obviously unopened. Probably never opened them. But I'm thinking I quite like the idea of a truly native Linux distro if I'm going to learn Linux sysadmin, so I'm not running into any kludges from the Windows Linux subsystem. However, having said that, I take Gary's point that presumably you're recommending it because you can do what you want, it works right, and it's natively integrated to Windows. It's 2 button clicks to get it up and running. Is that the thinking?
Yeah, basically. I mean, it is still kind of separate from Windows, but
Good to know.
You get it's a it lets you run any kind of virtual machines you want to run, really, and easily manage them. And it's some people run stuff on their local machine. A lot of people use Docker. Well, Docker uses virtual wind. I mean, it uses Oracle VirtualBox.
Does it?
In order to run your virtual machines. So, you're going to have it if you use Docker.
Never got it working. Never got it working. I installed it at an Ethereum lecture and then it didn't work for me. So, but interesting to know. Thanks.
Interesting also, if you have a pro version of Windows or something, it may not need VirtualBox.
Right.
And such, it does need VirtualBox.
How do I check? I can't remember. Right click properties. This could be Windows 10 Pro. I can't remember. I think I bought it. Yeah, Windows 10 Pro.
Okay, so that's why you didn't have VirtualBox.
Sorry?
That's why you didn't have VirtualBox.
Does it come automatically? This isn't looking too good, Jim, is it? So,
it's going to take a while. Please wait. We'll let that go. Did you get your machine yet? You get your credentials?
Let's have a look, because we're various ways to progress, haven't we?
I can see this. I'm getting like 14 minutes left, 16 minutes left, 20 minutes left. It's going up and down. Turns out how long it's going to take.
So you're getting closer. So let's try this again. Annoyingly, I've forgotten my login, but I'm still logged in. Oh no, they sent it in an email. That's not it, is it? Services. Still pending, so I doubt we're going to get lucky. Pending. Yeah, username, password not available yet. Okay.
Oh, well.
Yeah. I guess I'll leave that open. Are there any other websites I should have open at the moment? I don't think so.
No. I think
I'm very happy, by the way, to take this really slowly. In fact, I might have to. So just briefly for your info, at a top level, I've quite a lot going on at work, so I have a big week next week, so I'm unlikely to be able to do much next week. From the week after, I hope to devote 4 hours a week to this process that I described at the beginning. So installing an R node, getting it up and running, perhaps looking around at R chain tooling at a pretty slow rate, right? There's only so much you can do in 4 hours. But I think having worked with you, Jim, over the Rock to Rev conversion, I think I can certainly make 4 hours a week. And I imagine if I chip away at it and we keep recording this, because I'm literally coming at it from nowhere, I'm not a Linux guy, we can put together a series of videos that will be useful for people. And I would hope to have something up and running by the summer. Do you think at that sort of effort level, it's realistic to have a handle on all this by midsummer?
Yeah, I would think so.
Great, thank you. I'm not sure whether we want to continue today or not. I've certainly got time. I've got another hour or so, but we are top of the hour. So, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think we can continue, but we might want to pause the recording, or we could do something else. One of the things on the agenda, on my agenda for this weekend, is to try the ticket software ticket contract on our chain to see to see how.
Sounds fun. Sounds fun. I might just take a quick break, make a cup of tea, and then maybe we can look at that. Do you want to be setting up? I'll stop my screen share.
All right.
Do you want to stop the recording and start a new one so that these things are nicely segregated, or should we just continue? I'm easy.
Good question.